Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here today. We're going to take a quick look at NEAR. We're not going to bother with Bitcoin. It's kind of just doing its thing between 46 and 47,000 here today, kind of causing a ripple in a lot of other altcoins. But NEAR is no exception, of course, because obviously we see a slight pullback today. Also here, just to quickly note, not a financial advisor, right? I just love teaching people how to trade. This is a channel that I created to specifically help people become better traders, right? I've got a trading community as well, link in the description below for that. If you're interested in becoming kind of a better, more hands-on approach, so to speak, on becoming a better trader. I've also got a trading academy I'm rolling out with end of the month. Really excited for that. So taking a look here at NEAR, this is actually a swing trade that we had open. We took a 75% profit in the last, just say, couple of days, based on the simple fact that NEAR has shown some significant improvement, and we're able to get in, I believe, back here roughly about a week and a half ago. So all good stuff here for NEAR, but what I want to kind of bring to your attention isn't, that we took profits on this, of course, but necessarily more importantly, how to set profit targets, but also what to expect in the near future. No pun intended. Because if you look at NEAR, we can see obviously there's definitely potential to get upwards of about $30. And why don't we go ahead and take a look at the reason why, okay? So let's go ahead and identify that first. So first things first, we're looking at both moving averages. We're both moving averages on the one-day chart. That's important to have because it tells us we have that motivation, or we have nice strong support level below us just in case. The R size under 70, which is perfectly fine. It's kind of giving us that indication that it's not overbought and it has more room for growth, right? So that's great news as well. 4-hour chart, taking a look here, we saw a nice healthy continuation the last 36 hours, and we can see a bit of a sell-off right now. And that's because Bitcoin dropped from 47.5 to 46.5, right? A 2% decrease from Bitcoin is causing this. And the main reason why is because NEAR is a bit on the overextended side in the short term, if you think about it. And it's getting that knee-jerk reaction from Bitcoin, right? A lot of coins have that little, fear, uncertainty, and doubt comes into the market, and it causes that little reaction. So is this permanent? I don't believe so, but we are in a resistance channel right now, okay? Now, that's what the squiggly line here is for. It wasn't just theatrics. It's there to help you understand that we got a resistance channel here in this area where we have the most recent high as well as the previous high. Okay, again, the recent 4-hour candlestick close, and of course the high here, which honestly isn't super relevant. That was a high based on the fact that it was like a 1 minute up and down. It's probably like I wouldn't say an anomaly per se, but it definitely wasn't super important. But it's worth noting that this resistance channel is causing the price action to, I guess you could say, stunt, get slowed down or abbreviated. Right. So again, that's kind of part of the reason there, but the reason why this is happening more likely though is because we're at an 8 on TD sequential. So in the last 32 hours of trading, we basically had just a straight continuation, and that continuation is going to come to an end, right? When you have so much push in one way or the other, right? So in that sense, we're at an 8, price comes down. It's probably going to bounce off the support here, but there's no guarantees on that, but the likelihood of that's pretty high because the previous all-time high causes a nice strong support level once it comes back down. So this could be the calm before the storm, okay? But just know the price needs to consolidate a little bit because it's overextended. It's been running rampant for the last 32 hours, okay? So that's what this is here for. But again, 8 on TD sequential, not surprised to see the price come back down here. That's pretty normal stuff. Looking at the 1 hour though, taking a look at the Ichimoku cloud, we have a potential sell signal here, okay? The price is coming into play with the lagging span. That's going to tell us that we need to maybe consider trimming our position or closing it. You don't necessarily have to close it completely. It's not going to, the bottom's not necessarily going to drop off because of it. It just tells us as more of a conservative, type of indicator that we might want to consider closing our position. Okay. And again, on the 1 hour chart, it's helpful because it tells us if you have a shorter term hold, which we are holding this one short term, then it might be a good consideration to close our position because it's A, overextended, and B, the price is coming down, right? But as soon as that intersects, we can see that could be considered to be a sell signal. Furthermore, we've also got TD sequential. Did we hit a 9? Yes, we did. And this is an example here of extreme overtime, right? We hit a 9 here on TD sequential, and it just kept on going up as if it didn't even happen, right? So the likelihood of it coming down is pretty high because it should have consolidated here, but it didn't, right? It literally should have went sideways and then legged up. Instead, it went straight up, and now it's coming back down because it's over exhausted. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Also, you can see that on the RSI how over 70 it went. A lot of indications just telling us that this is oversold. So to me, my personal opinion here, there's one of two scenarios that could unfold here for NEAR. The price could consolidate right here at support, which is a pretty common place based on the simple fact that this being the previous high, this is the all-time high for NEAR prior to this occasion here, right? That was its all-time high. So we got to respect the fact that that is now a new support level. That's a strong support level. So the likelihood of it staying here is pretty high. But if we lose that support, the secondary support would be 1545 and or 1350. Okay. Now the likelihood of it coming down all the way to 1350 is pretty low. It would have to start making lower highs and lower lows to do that. I think it would be normal for the correction to occur closer to 16 or 15, right? So in this zone here, I think we could see the price consolidate and then leg up again eventually. But it is a bit on the overextended side right now, and I would say that the likelihood of it going up from here in the immediate short term is very low. But again, continuing higher in the big picture is also very high, based on the simple fact that it's done very well and it could continue to do well again, right? Because you see all this movement here? Does that look like Bitcoin at all? No, Bitcoin is almost the inverse here, where NEAR is moving up when Bitcoin moves down for the most part. So that tells me it's a good, healthy coin, good consideration to take entry or to add to your position possibly. We could see somewhere in the range of $30, but I wouldn't expect that for at least another month or two. And the reason why I say that is because it's taken roughly a month for NEAR to get upwards of 192% increase. That's a lot of movement, right? But in 1 month, that's a good, healthy pattern, right? We like to see that take that long. Well, that didn't happen in 1 or 2 days, which a lot of coins do. But if the price were to continue upwards, just say, for example, it were to come up to a price point of close to $30, we'd see an extra 80% from the price action presently, okay? So again, just pay attention to how the price responds to this support level here, right at about 1627. If we lose that support, next target would be 1545, so I might want to consider adding a limit order to both those profit targets, or sorry, both those targets rather, and then set your profit target upwards of just say $21 even, maybe even $25 even, and then 30. So 20, 25, and 30 would be a good consideration for NEAR. And once again, just bear in mind, it's gonna take a little while for this to happen. It shouldn't happen overnight. And also note too, yesterday was a very strong candlestick, a very large one. So today being kind of a large doji candle here, I think that's referred to as is that a morning star? I think it is. There's a candlestick pattern basically that reflects that we could see a potential push to the upside. And that's kind of what it's telling us here, because again, that's a bounce off of support. So I don't know, I'm still leaning more towards the price continuing upwards in the near future, not down. But I would say between 1545 and 1615 would be probably a likely consideration to add to your position. Just make sure you have a stop loss somewhere in the range of 1350 in case the bottom were to drop out. I think that's less likely, but you know, if volume comes away from NEAR and goes to other coins that are taking off, that you got to understand that could happen when a coin like this that's all on its own, so to speak, with its success contrary to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin starts to do well, could NEAR digress and start coming down? Yes, that's a possibility. That does happen sometimes with these inverse pairings. Not saying it's paired inversely, but it's kind of giving us that indication that it wants to do well when Bitcoin does poorly. So if Bitcoin does well, people could take their profits away from NEAR and go somewhere else. So make sure you have some kind of stop loss in place somewhere around 1350. Okay, just to be on the safe side. You never truly know. But I hope you found benefit here, of course. Sorry, I kind of went off the rails there with a couple of analogies, but I hope it makes sense and you learned something here today. If you want to learn more, of course, consider joining my community, my trading community. I actually have a trading academy I'm rolling out with the end of the month as well. It's really awesome. Working hard on that for you to kind of give you a well-rounded understanding of how to become a better trader. Every step of the way, been trading for over 15 years. My goal is to make sure that you are more self-sufficient and you can learn a thing or two in this industry, because not a lot of people are telling you or teaching you how to trade. They're just giving you the answers. And I want to give you the explanation as to why things are the way they are. So you'll find that there. Thanks again for joining me here. Looking forward to getting to know you better. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.